Hey Erica, so this one's for you. So I have your cards all laid out. At the end, I'll take a photograph of all your cards so you can see them. And I'm going to give you the full book meaning from this deck because the shadow work is really important that you get like the full interpretation. And I don't want to like not give you enough information. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to give you the rundown, my interpretation, and then I'll give you the book. So we have the King of Cups first, so it's water sign energy. But in the shadow, he's somebody who's a little bit eccentric. So normally he would be really loving and nurturing, but when he's in the shadow side, I feel like he's a little too off in his own world. So you need to be cautious of taking advice from people that you don't necessarily trust exactly that it can be good advice. Your next card is Justice. So this is telling you to shift your perspective on a situation. If you feel like there's an obstacle you're trying to overcome, you need to see it in a different way, and you need to make sure that you're being just and fair on both sides of it, and make sure that when you do make a decision that it's something that is beneficial, or that it is like what's the right word for that, that it kind of levels the playing field so that it's a fair outcome or a fair decision. Then we have the Chariot, so that's your energy. This is telling you that things feel like it's insurmountable, like it's a huge hill or a mountain to overcome, but that if you shift your perspective and you take a little bit of steps at a time, eventually you'll reach the top. Even if you kind of go backwards for a little while, or it feels that you go backwards, you're still making progress even if you haven't reached the top yet. So you have to have some patience with the forward movement because it could take a while. Let's see, 4 of coins in this deck is the 4 of serpents. So this is struggling financially or feeling like you're constantly in a place of lack. So again, you have to shift your perspective. If there's any place in your life that you can curb unnecessary spending right now and start saving where you can, that's going to really add up in your future. So you do want to make adjustments so that you're not in a lack mentality. All right, the next we have is the Lovers, and this one is all about making a decision when it comes to love. So I feel like there could be some hiccups or issues within you and Ron's relationship, but not necessarily with you and Ron. I feel like it's outside forces causing you to have to make adjustments. So whether that's, dealing with in-laws or dealing with extended family, things like that, that kind of cause hiccups for you guys' relationship. I think that's what you need to make a choice on, whether you're going to let that keep affecting you guys or whether you're going to kind of squash it and move forward. So definitely a decision that needs to be made. I feel like you guys really are going to try and collaborate together and kind of come to a conclusion of what works best for the two of you and your family, not necessarily what's going to work best for everybody else around you, but not making a decision is actually still making a decision. It's just hesitating. So make sure that you're not under any illusion. Make sure that you see things clearly of what the truth really is before you decide which path you want to take. Okay, so this is the light side, and then I have 6 cards for your outcome. So we have the 4 of coins. You had it twice, so this is really a big message telling you that balance needs to be in your finances. So whether that's whatever it means for you to balance your finances, make a budget, stick to it, try not to overspend on anything. And that's really hard considering everybody's struggling financially. The holidays are here. So do whatever you can do to make things work for you guys. All right, we have the Queen of Cups and we have the King of Cups. So this tells me that the King of Cups could kind of be in La La Land, where the Queen of Cups is kind of taking control and kind of trying to manage things. So big mama bear energy with this card. She's the patriarch or the matriarch of the family, and this is somebody who is really loving, nurturing, caring, and compassionate. So that could also be your energy. I feel like she really wants to include a lot of people, but she still has her walls high to be protective. So that definitely sounds like it could be you. We have the Magician, so keep your thoughts positive. You are manifesting things all the time. Whether you realize you are or not, our thoughts are creating things. So you've got to remember that you're creating the life that you want. And if you aren't creating the life that you want, change your thoughts, because your thoughts are what's creating your life. So you have all the tools at your disposal. If you look at this card, you've got everything you need to make the life that you want. The question is, are you prepared to do that? So you have to take a look at that and decide. All right, we have the Knight of Cups. So somebody coming with an offer, This could be an offer that's kind of unexpected. This could be somebody younger that's maybe making an offer to somebody that they have a crush on as well. That's usually how I read that card. But somebody's lacking confidence, whether it's for changes that need to be made or to initially make the offer, whatever the offer is coming forward. Seven of Cups. So lots of choices and decisions to make. Remember, everything that glitters isn't gold. You have to weigh your options carefully. And if there's lots of choices that need to be made, make sure that you're making them from a positive place where you feel like this is the best possible outcome. There are snakes in the midst typically with this card, so not every option is going to be great for you. So you want to be cautious with your choices going forward and make them from a place that is comfortable for you. King of Cups, we have him both 2 times as well. So the King of Cups is somebody who's really nurturing, affectionate, loving. So you have both. You have like the full king in this, is how I read that, since you have the light and the shadow. You have somebody who is evolved. You have somebody who gives you the nurturing and love that you need. And if there's a struggle in that area, that tells you where you need to focus some energy on working things out or healing those things. But the King of Cups is somebody who's a fierce protector of his family and those he loves, but he's also a gentle person. So I do feel like this could be Ron for you, or this could have been your father. I do feel like this was somebody who really nurtured you, somebody who really kind of gave you all of the things that you desired, the love, the attention, the affection. And I feel like if that's where you feel like you're missing something right now, then you need to kind of connect with that energy, whether it's spiritually speaking that you connect with that, or whether you tell, Ron that, hey, I need more of this and maybe less of this in order to feel like I'm getting the affection that I need. So that's going to be really important. So your outcome, we have the World in the shadow. So this card is something where you feel like things are out of reach, or you feel like you're stifled somehow. Like maybe you want to travel, but maybe the money's not there, or you're feeling like you want to expand your horizons, but you're not sure how to do that because you have to juggle the things going on in your life. Let's see, we have the Three of Swords. So this is overcoming heartbreak, and I feel like this is a huge part for you in your shadow work, is healing. And healing from significant losses, healing from any heartbreak or pain from the past in your life, healing from traumas, things that have really left a mark for you. This is going to be key for you to really find yourself and go forward, is to heal. And that's going to be huge for you. It's going to take you a while to really feel like you've overcome these things and to really feel released from a lot of the pain that you've been carrying. We have death, so finalities, endings. Endings bring new beginnings, so it's a cycle. So we go through the cycle of life and death, rebirth, renewal, transformation, and it's Scorpio energy. So I feel like a lot of this started in Scorpio season. So this could be something that you're still dealing with, the healing, the fallout, all of that stuff. But you've got to get to a point where you're ready to embrace the new and let go of the old. And that's going to be hard, but you're going to have to get to a point where you are ready to breathe and let go of some of the things that you can't take forward anymore. All right, the Queen of Wands comes out with the World. So I feel like you really need to follow your passions. If there's things that you've been hesitating on acting on because you don't know how you're going to make things work, look into them further. This is a card telling you that you need to be ambitious. You need to follow your zest for life. You need to find the things that you're passionate about and not necessarily wait on them forever. At some point, you're going to have to decide if chasing your passions is worth it to you. King of Swords. This is air sign energy. This could be somebody who's kind of tyrannical, somebody who's abrasive, somebody who's really kind of headstrong and stubborn, but also could be like an authority figure. So this could be a boss, a parent, it could be a partnership. It's somebody who speaks their mind. They think very logically and analytically about things, and they don't always have emotions when they speak to people. So they can come off as kind of nasty, or they can come off as kind of just really hard to deal with, like a Debbie Downer is what I'm getting. So somebody that you don't necessarily like to be around, they kind of ruffle your feathers. So you're going to want to really be cautious when you deal with that person. Your final card is the Stars. So this is wish fulfillment granted in divine timing. This is a lot of hope. This is a lot of wishing and praying and manifesting, but not giving up that your dreams will be reality one day. And you have the Magician. Where is he? So I definitely think that you're trying to create the life that you want, and you're trying to overcome a lot of obstacles, whether it's financial obstacles or obstacles that are holding you back temporarily. I think a lot of your healing is really to do with grief and trauma. And so when you start to see things in a different light and you realize that your life doesn't have to be full of grief and trauma, that you can actually live a happy, fulfilling life, and that while you still honor those memories of the things and people that you've lost, then this is something that you can actually birth a new beginning for yourself, and you can actually be very fruitful and very happy. But you have to get to a point where the healing has come and you release the things that aren't serving you so that you make room for the things that you really want so you can chase your dreams and ambitions. So I'm going to pause for just a second so I can get these messages in the book, and I'm going to go over these in case I missed anything. All right, so King of Cups in the shadow. A kind and fun-loving man with a twinkle in his eye. He can be a great patron of the arts and supporter of creativity. Though sometimes his love of life seems overwhelming and he can be overindulgent as well. Be careful to consider his wisdom before following it to the letter. So that's telling you to use your own intuition and make sure that you're not, listening to somebody who is a little bit up in their head and doesn't quite know what reality is. Right, next we have Justice. In the Twilight Realm, Justice raises her sword. She is a warrior in the service of the law. She may challenge us to see if we are refusing to observe the situation honestly. This can result in blaming everyone and everything for things that we have caused ourselves. In readings concerned with relationships, either personal or professional, it indicates a need to be absolutely fair in our dealings. Justice is forever impartial and requires us to be the same. If your concern is with your personal progress, you may need to reassess your approach. Let's see. Lost my place, sorry. You should not forget that the notion of justice and fairness is something that we can personally implement in our dealings with the world. So, this is telling you again to shift your perspective that if you don't feel like the situation is fair, you have to look at it objectively, like a judge would have to do in a court case, in order to come to an honest and fair conclusion. All right, the Chariot. In the Twilight Realm, the pattern is the same, but suggests that you may well attempt to climb the hill, but end up falling back down. In every case, the inherent meaning is to do with harnessing your best qualities to give you the needed energy to bring about a successful conclusion. It is also about the discovery that you make when lying at the foot of the hill looking up. From this angle, all things look different, but be careful, for if the energies of determination and assault are out of balance, the result might be other than wished for. With the howdah falling from the elephant's back, leaving the passenger stuck without further movement backward or forward. So this is really feeling stuck and stagnant, and you feel like you take one step forward and 10 steps back, or you feel like things are just a huge obstacle for you right now to make forward progress. So that's shifting your perspective as well. A lot of these cards are definitely talking about that, so that's a big theme for your reading. 4 coins, 4 of serpents in this deck. The lightning generated by the shadow of the 4 of serpents signifies being careful around ownership and property, and the wise disposal of assets. This may halt the progress that you are making, but if you are willing to moderate any sense of materialistic delight, you will weather the storm and come out on top. So this is telling you that you need to be careful around ownership and property and be wise disposing of assets. This is making me think of your grandmother's things. So make sure that anything that you're just getting rid of isn't something that's quite valuable that you would maybe want to hold on to that you could sell for money, or something that is valuable because it's like irreplaceable, something like that. Like it's a one of a kind, or it's something that holds value of either monetary or sentimental value. So just be cautious with that. Next, we have the Lovers. In the Twilight Garden, the flowers have become serpents. The trickster love, Eros, has embodied the pair to commit to each other. Their shading umbrella is folded, but its head points to the moon, as though it would puncture it, letting fall the sustaining rays of love's miraculous healing power. Its ability to bind all upon whom its light falls in bonds of silk and dream. In most readings, the card serves literally to marry, the meanings of the cards that surround it. People fall in and out of love all the time, and this card may suggest either a burgeoning romance or the end of a relationship. But in every case, Love himself watches over those his darts have struck, and in any reading concerned with romantic love, the implication is the presence of help and hope. So this is like not losing hope in a relationship, especially if things are rocky, and it's definitely something telling you that there's always hiccups in marriage. Speaking from my own personal experience, there's lots of ups and downs. So you go through rocky times, you go through great times, and it's how you resolve the rocky times that really matter. It's not that you go through those, it's not that you have problems, it's how you resolve them. And knowing that if this is truly your person and that you truly love this person to want to be with them forever, then you're willing to do the work in order to sacrifice things or to change things in order to make it a happy, fruitful union. So definitely know that there is still a choice that needs to be made. And I'm also picking up this could have to do with your mom and her marriage, that there might be a lot of trouble and that there might be some things that they either are or aren't going to be able to resolve. All right, Two of Swords. There is a sense of ambivalence around this card in the realm of shadows. We may feel lost at times, giving way to arguments and disagreements. The swords here resemble shears, but are also crossed in a sign of guardianship and direct engagement with the struggle. So I feel like you're directly involved in a struggle right now, or you're somehow involved in like being the resolution for this. But whatever the case, these are definitely telling you that the divine is protecting this situation and that there definitely needs to be some sort of resolution to this. Yep, definitely. There's been lots of struggle going on. So this is going to be your light side of the reading. So let's see, 4 serpents, 4 coins. The more modern interpretation of this card is about generosity, the giving of gifts. Your finances are stable and you feel able to be generous to others. But there is a deeper meaning which suggests that you may only be generous in order to make others like you. In most instances, your honesty wins out. So this is telling you, if you're worried that people don't like you because maybe you feel like you're in a place of lack or like you have to give them things to get them to like you, and they're giving me the analogy that what is that, the old your mama jokes about your mama had to tie a pork chop around your neck to get the dog to play with you. So that's not the case. You don't want those people in your life. If you feel like you have to buy their love and affection, that's not the people for you. You want genuine people in your life that really want to be in your energy and want to be around you, not somebody who you feel you have to buy their love. So that's going to be really important. All right, Queen of Cups. Here is a kindly, loving, and devoted partner who brings comfort in times of stress and acts as a sounding board for trouble. Her support lends strength to those around her, and she holds the reins to the household firmly and efficiently during the leanest times. Above all, she stops to help those in need. So I do feel like this is you being the matriarch of your own home and definitely being able to help others around you and to kind of run your own household. Like if the matriarch is in charge of the home and, delegating duties and making it feel like a home, not just a house, then that's definitely the role that you're trying to be in right now, which is exactly where you should be. Okay, the Magician. This card is sometimes associated with the ego, but it is also about the desire to uncover the creativity of others in ways that shift our notion of reality. The archetypal magician is able to penetrate the outer shell of the everyday world and to delve into the heart of the matter. In the light realm, the card has much to do with offering illumination of circumstances and problems, enabling us to see past them, moving from a state of uncertainty to its polar opposite. The magician causes things to happen. He changes destiny and reverses circumstances by engaging with them. He may disguise himself in surprising forms, dancing around us, twisting and turning within our consciousness to offer deeper wisdom. When revealed in his true shape, he is a powerful and effective figure, who in readings may represent the actual strength of the reader, one they may not know that they possess. to cause changes to occur at the subtlest levels of being. So again, remember that you are trying to create the life that you want, so you need to keep your thoughts positive. If you feel negativity creeping in, you need to do something else and shift your perspective. You need to know that you are powerful enough to create the life that you want, and until you really believe it and start to interact with it and try and change it, you aren't going to see your manifestations happen. All right, Knight of Cups. Here is a guide who is second to none, a friend who is a rock upon which you may rest in time of need. His command of the moment and his sense of poise bring his own indications as to which road to follow. Who would not choose to follow this shining figure? So it always makes me think of like a knight in shining armor with this card. And it's not a great depiction in this deck. Like the pictures, I told you I have trouble connecting to them because they aren't real great graphics on this card. But it's really like the knight in shining armor, but he's lacking a little bit of courage to come forward. So definitely feels like an offer to be made, but it's like he definitely is a strong person and feel like they could be the rock that you lean on in times of need. All right, Seven of Cups. This is one of the cards of the dreamer, one who fashions wonderful castles from cloud that soon will melt away. Be careful not to become too enraptured by your own plans, forgetting the reality of your life journey. The plans of others may seem perfect also, while they are in fact hollow. So again, this is really making sure that you are cautious with your choices going forward, and don't get caught up in like daydreams and la la land. You have to face reality when you're going to make decisions and choices, and make sure that you weigh them carefully so that they are the best decision for you. All right, King of Cups. A strong and intelligent person who stands at your side through thick and thin. A steadfast provider and respected financier, merchant, or entrepreneur. He is a good steward who protects his resources or property. He will guide your feet on the path you take and make sure you do not trip along the way. This is giving me guardian angel energy, and that's rare because that's not something I normally pick up with this. But the description the book gives tells me that this could definitely be like your dad's energy that's coming through, and that he's guiding your feet on the path you take and make sure that you do not trip along the way. So this is giving me serious guardian energy, guardian angel energy, and I feel, especially because it's water sign, I feel like he is helping you. I'm almost seeing like a puppeteer on strings, like making sure that your steps are perfect where they need to land and helping guide you to exactly where your destiny is calling you to be. So trust where you're led and trust the steps that you're taking are right for you and your path. They don't have to be right for anyone else. This is your life. It needs to work for you and your family, your immediate family, Ron, Calliope, you. It needs to work for you. It doesn't have to work for anyone else. So know that these steps are being guided and you are protected being guided where you are being led. So we're getting to the outcome. Your first card was the world in the shadow. The twilight vision of the world is a different place to the light realm in this card, a place of greater subtlety from which you may review everything that has happened and catch a glimpse of the road before you. For anyone enabled to do this, the way is clear. Others will follow you when they perceive your success. You are the center around which everything else revolves. You have climbed to the peak of achievement, where the view is clear on every side. But remember the wisdom of the serpent and the clouds that decorate the mountain, which warns us against becoming overconfident. So don't get cocky. Make sure that you are working towards your own achievements. You have climbed a big mountain in your life, and this is telling you that the view from the top will be worth it. Just don't get cocky along the way. Make sure that you still stay humble. All right, Three of Swords. The variety of issues implies a variety of solutions. The blades of the swords are blunted by hope. The sense of confusion and mixed messages dissipates by the intent to survive. Remember to look both ways. There is both a beginning and an end to storms. So I feel like you've begun this journey a long time ago with the Three of Swords energy. Like you've begun your healing journey many, many years ago. But it's still like you're still a work in progress. You're still working through these traumas. You're still dealing with these pains. So you've got to keep going. It's like eventually the storm will end. Storms don't last forever, even though sometimes it feels like it when you're in it. So you have to take your time and you've got to walk through the path that you need to in order to get to the other side where the storm finally ends. Okay, death in the shadow. In the twilight world, especially, this card encourages change of the most positive kind, leaving behind old, stale, worn out ways, changing your job, school, or relationship, always moving towards a positive outcome. It can also mean disillusionment and awakening to the recognition that one's life needs to change. This is an aspect of death in which he is welcomed as an old friend, whose scythe and spear cuts away no longer needed baggage and sweeps the path clear of dead wood. So this is definitely an interesting card in the shadow side. So it's like it's a welcomed change to let go of the things that don't work. It's a welcome change to transform the situation, and it's a welcome change to start fresh and start new. So don't hold on to the past baggage. That's really important with that card. You need to be able to release it and use the scythe to cut it away. It's a welcomed breath of fresh air when these changes actually happen because it's going to relieve stress and chaos out of your life. Right, Queen of Wands, and she is in the light side. As a creative and extremely sociable person, the Queen is perfectly placed to act as an advisor in matters of business and of the heart. She may seem flamboyant, but her dazzling style sees that both parties get heard. She has no time for restraint or opposition and will show you how to overcome these obstacles. So this is telling me that this could be somebody in your life who, like, you trust their advice, or it's like a business person or something that she's really capable of helping you see both sides of the coin. And she has no time for restraint or opposition and will show you how to overcome these obstacles. So I think just doing your shadow work is really going to help you kind of overcome any of these challenges because it highlights the parts of you that need work and it highlights the parts of you that are working well. So I think that's really important going forward, that you get to the point where you see what the issues are so you know how to go forward and tackle them accordingly. All right, we have the King of Swords next. The Light King is all powerful and as such may sometimes act harshly for the good of those to whom he offers help. He can seem a domineering figure whose lack of sympathy to those around can cause conflict rather than preventing it. Yet he is invariable firm in his resolve to guide and guard your path. So I do feel like whoever this person is, it's air sign energy, is somebody who's like definitely an authority figure. And again, like I was saying, they don't really operate in emotions. It's very much analytical thinking. It's operating in a place of like black and white and operating in a place of facts only, no emotions in this. But they're also helping you to see that you can operate that way too, and to show you that you don't always have to make every decision from a place of emotions. Sometimes you can operate in your analytical mind, which feels foreign to water signs because we operate usually solely out of emotions. This is telling you sometimes to remove the emotions from the choices you need to make to see a clearer picture. And I think whoever this person is going to help you see that not every decision has to be based on how you feel. Some of it has to be faced in facts and made to work because it's a fact, like it's black and white. It's a clear decision to make. All right, your final card is the stars. In the realm of light, the goddess spills both her vessels of wonder and life, gathered from the starry vault above her into the world. In the twilight realm of shadows, she retains their contents, harboring them against a time of need. Stars are traditionally seen as the rising of hope and positive feelings on a personal horizon. They denote a strong, idealistic approach to events that drives through all nascent problems and shines a light into the darkest corners of the situation. It is thus a well aspected card for times when you are thinking of beginning new enterprise, moving to a new place, or simply starting over. Yet for all of this, the stars can't be seen in the light of day. Thus we need the presence of the goddess to show the way. So this is awesome. So this is how you end your reading, is on wish fulfillment and hope. Hope for change, hope for things to get better, hope for things to move forward and to a new place of simply starting over. So I really think that for you, starting over, starting fresh from whatever is keeping you stuck is going to be key for you to actually make forward progress. It's going to be something where it's going to be a lot of work for you. You're going to feel like you're climbing a huge mountain to really overcome some of this stuff. And it's going to be an emotional upheaval for you in some of it, especially where the Three of Swords energy is concerned. I feel like there's a lot of grief and stuff that you still haven't quite processed. So you're going to have to slowly, and definitely not all at once. Don't feel like you have to do this all at once. Shadow work is something where I feel like it's a process and it definitely takes time. So slowly, decide on one thing you really feel like you want to work on that's bothering you. I would suggest journaling. I would also suggest doing a lot of deep breathing exercises and journal about how you actually feel. Write it all down in some place that later you can go back to it when the situation has changed some or time has passed and revisit how you felt once upon a time and see how much things have changed, how much further on that mountain you've actually climbed in life because you've taken the time to actually slowly unpack the baggage and be able to rid yourself of it ultimately, or know that you've overcome these challenges and that once you've overcome them, there's nothing anyone can say or do that's going to make them come to the surface and hurt you in the same way again. So that's the whole point of doing shadow work, is releasing it to where it no longer affects you in a negative light. So I hope that helps. I'm going to email this picture of all your cards to you and you will get a notification when your video is ready. Hope it helps. Have a good day.